Hi, everybody. John Harris here with you with my pal Billy Smith, and we are ready for week two of the 2025 NFL season. And we'll go over last week's stats real fast. Um, Bill and I both were identical with our game picks at 15 wins, one loss. Man, that's scorching. You got to put on asbestos gloves to deal with that heat, baby. Uh, Odds brought us down to earth a little bit, but you still would have made money off either one of us. Bill was 8 wins, six losses, and one push. Uh, so he's still over 50% as well after week one, which week one is always the scariest one. It's so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen in the National Football League. Um, and on the over under, Bill and I were identical at 6 and 10. The only real difference numerically was with the odds. I was 11, 5 and 1. But it's early. So, but you would have made money off either one of us, and that's what we're here for. Well, that and the entertainment end of it. So we're ready, Bill. If you are, we'll go over this week's games and see what we got. Um, there's only five or six differences, and most of them are on over under. Um, but I think we can whip through these. Washington, Green Bay the other night, Thursday night. Um, Bill got the win and the cover, I think, right? You got the, or no, you took
No,
Washington across the board.
I took Washington across the board. I got the under,
But you got the under.
but I didn't. But I didn't take. I took them the points three and a
Yeah.
half. So yeah, so they didn't
Yeah,
get the
Green Bay
spread.
kind of blew them out. So, and I switched to Green Bay a couple hours before the game and changed the post and everything with Bill knowing. We never make a change without the other knowing. So I informed Bill, and he was like, "Okay, go ahead, dumbass." And luckily, I was right. Uh, so uh, I had Green Bay across the board, and I did have the over. The over was wrong. Bill was right on the under, but I had Green Bay across the board, and that's what tipped the scale for me. So with that being said, last week's results being done as well. We're ready for this week. We started with Thursday. Now we got Buffalo visiting the Jets in New Jersey. Buffalo picked by 7 in the over under 46 and a half. Bill and I both took Buffalo. Bill took the over. I took the under. Chicago, Detroit, 46 and a half, the over under. We both took the over and we both took Detroit across the board. Baltimore and Cincinnati, there is a bit of a difference here. We both took the over. Bill took Baltimore across the board. I took Baltimore to win the game, but because it is 44 and a half, or not 44 and a half, because it's an 11 and a half point spread, which is really high in the NFL, I took Cleveland. It's Baltimore and Cleveland. I may have said Cincinnati, and if I did, I apologize. And if I didn't, screw you. Uh, but Bill took Baltimore across the board. I took Baltimore to win, but Cleveland to cover the 11 and a half point spread. That's our one difference there. Because Baltimore's defense isn't great. It ain't the old Baltimore Ravens defense. So, but Cleveland's offense isn't great. So that 11 and a half is probably pretty close. Cincinnati is hosting Jacksonville. The Bengals are picked by 3.5. Bill and I both took the Bengals and the Bengals to cover. The only difference is Bill took the over 48 and a half point spread. I think that's kind of high, and I took the under. Rams and Tennessee. Tennessee is, they're rebuilding still. The Rams have a pretty good offense. Uh, the point spread's 5.5 for the Rams. The over under is 41 and a half. Bill took the Rams and the under. I took the Rams and the over. Um, New England at Miami. Here's one we can talk about, Bill, if we want, because we both took New England to upset Miami's picked by 1.5, and the point spread is 43.5. I took the under. If New England's going to win, I think it's going to be 17-13 or something like that, or
Yeah.
21-13 or something. Who
I,
knows?
I think this is going to prove that we're both wrong.
Yeah, it's probably true. Watch Miami come out and return to some kind of glory here or something. So,
But Miami just looks pathetic. They're,
who'd they lose? Oh, their loss was pathetic.
yeah,
Yeah,
their loss is pathetic. You know,
it's just
they almost
awful.
got shut out by my team, the Colts, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Your team
But
really kicked their behinds there.
Miami just, I don't know. I think they need a overhaul.
Yeah, if nothing else, because they've got some talent on offense. Um, if nothing else, they hate to say it because I like the guys' press conferences, but I think they need a new coach. I think they need a new voice in the locker room.
Yeah, you need that, and unfortunately, Tua's not a bad quarterback, but I think you just got to go. I think just got to go in a different direction. You know.
Yeah, I think the concussions have gotten to him. I really do. It's a shame. Because first couple years before the concussions, he was setting it on fire.
Hmm.
But something's gone from him, I think, personally. No, there's no proof of that. It's just observation. Um, and the offensive line isn't great, so he's under pressure all the time.
Hmm.
He's running for his life, it looks like. Um, so we both took New England and we both took the under. So you're right. We could both lose. We could both look like geniuses. Chances are yeah, we're gonna lose. But I like May. I like Drake May for New England.
Hmm.
I do. I think he's gonna just keep getting better and better. Uh, Giants at Dallas. This is a game where I will ask my favorite question, Bill. Why? Uh, I just
You'll
Gary doesn't care if he makes the playoffs just as long as they make money. The Giants care, but just can't do anything about it. So
and later on in the year, you'll be saying the same thing because they play each other
because they
twice.
play each other at the end of the year again, yeah, and I'll be like, why?
But
At that point, the why will really mean something because we'll both know they're going nowhere. So um, Dallas picked by 5.5, over under 44.5. We both took Dallas and the over. Seattle at Pittsburgh. We had a little bit of a difference here. Bill picks Pittsburgh to win, Seattle to cover, and the over 46.5 point. Oh, no, it's 40
40 and a half.
and a
Yeah.
half point spread. Um, I took Seattle across the board to win and to cover, and I took the over. Bill took the over as well. So that one's got a little difference to it. I don't know about Pittsburgh's offense. I think Seattle's got a little better offense. I like Darnold. Um, I like Darnold more than Rodgers at this point in Rodgers' career. Prove me wrong, double A RON.
Yeah, I don't know. He did last week.
Yeah, but
There's four touchdowns.
yeah, and hey,
He's
could
got
come
he,
out and do it
and he's
again,
got
and then they'll
he,
change my mind. But
and he's got Metcalf. So
he does have Metcalf,
I
the former Seahawk, by the way,
yes.
former Seattle Seahawk. So, but Darnold still got Lockett. So, um, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think Darnold and the Seattle offense is a little bit better. And the only reason I took the over is it's low at 40.5.
Yeah, you got Njigba Smith over there. Lockett is on another team.
Oh, really?
So yeah, Lockett is with
They
he's
both
with
left.
Tennessee. He's on Tennessee. Yeah.
Holy crap. Man, that had to be a paycheck because I don't know why you'd leave Seattle for Tennessee. It's got to only be one thing and one thing only, paycheck. So,
But either way, I think they're pretty equal offensively, both sides. So
yeah, I'm going to stick with Seattle anyway. Prove me wrong, which they probably will. There's a big L. You might catch up this week. We only have 3 games difference, and you'll probably win them all. Uh, my luck. Let's see. We've got this game is going to be tough. San Francisco and New Orleans. And the reason it's going to be tough is the Niners starting quarterback Brock Purdy is going to be looking purdy on a couch somewhere as he can't play. Um, he is out, as is George Kittle. He's out. So San Francisco's out a couple of starting weapons.
Yeah, McCaffrey's going to play.
McCaffrey is going to play.
The
Mac
wide
Jones is the
receiver.
quarterback for the Niners,
Yeah,
right?
wide receiver Jennings, he's available. So, but I just think being on the road with Mac Jones, with the first
Yeah.
start with them, I think it might be tough in the dome.
Could be. However, I obviously don't think it will be because I took the Niners across the board still. Uh, my original pick was before I knew Purdy was out, but I'm still going to stick with it. The 42 and a half, I took the over, and Bill, you took the under.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this could be, and I think you're right. If New Orleans wins the game, it'll have to be under. It'll have to be a defensive showing, or Mac Jones looking like late New England Mac Jones. So, uh, but I think the Niners have enough to get by this game. Next couple weeks, I don't know, but they have enough for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, Carolina. Cardinals picked by 6.5. It's a 44.5 point spread. Reason we're going through all these, even some of them are quick, is because we do have some differences on over-unders and things like that. So you guys get to know. Arizona's picked by 6.5. Over-unders 44.5. Bills got Arizona across the board in the over. I took Arizona to win the game, but I just get a hunch that Carolina's going to hang in there. And the only way they're going to hang in there is if it's an under. If it's somehow they keep it a low scoring game. So I took Carolina to cover.
Yep.
Okay. Denver and the Colts. Man, Denver looks good, and the Colts looked great last week. But you don't know if it's a 1 week fluke. But Daniel Jones looks like the second coming of Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning last week. What do you
Yeah.
got? 4 touchdowns and rushed for another one?
Yeah, that's actually they had, I believe it was 7 possessions and they had 7 scores. That's the first.
Yeah, that's right. They did.
Yeah,
They scored all 7 times they had the football.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't expect that this week because Denver's got a really stout defense.
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
Um,
and like I said, Miami when the Colts played Miami, Miami just was atrocious. So
they're just yeah,
but I got to take Denver as much as I
they're
like.
Miami's a reoccurring dumpster fire. It's like you put it out the first time and it's going to flame back up. You didn't get it right the first time, so
But if Jones continues to play, I think the Colts can win that division. But you
yeah,
did pick them. You did pick them to win that division earlier.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think I still stuck with Houston if I remember right, um, but it wouldn't surprise me if they keep playing like that. It wouldn't surprise me. Um, Ethel, I think, agrees with you on the under. I took the over 42.5 point spread, but Ethel's over here. I said under, and she was like, I took over, and she just shut right the fuck up. So the executive producer is giving me crap here. And the late Sunday afternoon game is probably the marquee game of the day. Philadelphia visits Kansas City. Philadelphia is picked by 1.5 points. The over under is 46.5. We both, which I was semi surprised, we both took the Eagles to win the game and cover the point spread, and we both took the over 46.5. I get what I will say that we just found out Goddard's out for the game for Philadelphia at tight end. But Alcantara is no slouch, I don't think.
No. Well, maybe Hurts will throw to his wide receiver. So
That's true. Yeah, this week he might look for a receiver and they won't be so disgruntled. But they said all the right things this week, not like last year when they had that game.
Mhm.
AJ Brown was like, "What up?" This week. This week, they didn't say anything. And they couldn't because it's your leader, Hertz, who did all the heavy lifting last week. And the other part was that they weren't getting open. No sense throwing the ball to somebody that's covered. So,
Right.
uh, but I think that was a conscious choice that was made, and that's why Hertz was able to do what he could do. Atlanta, Minnesota, the Sunday night game. And you made a good point that this could be a really good game, depending on Atlanta's defense, if they can hold McCarthy down. Um, which, remember, he only had one good quarter out of the four.
Yes.
So it was almost like, somebody ran out of gas more than anything else. But we'll see what happens. It's in Minnesota. Vikings are picked by 4.5. Uh, Bill took Minnesota to win, Atlanta to cover. And the over. I took Minnesota across the board in the over. And Bill could be right. He could be exactly right. Minnesota may win by a field goal. That would make it exactly right. So could be tough. I like Penix, so he could keep it close, especially if they get a little running game going.
Yeah, they got some good offense. I mean, they
Yeah,
have Drake London as a wideout. Kyle Pitts is finally playing like
like
Kyle
the Kyle
Pitts,
Pitts we expected. Yeah,
and Bijan Mustard Robinson.
yeah,
Is a fantastic player.
yeah. Great, the Grey Poupon of running back. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that could be a really good game. Earlier, I was like, why? But the more I thought about it, and you made some good points, I'm like, that could really be a good game to watch. Two Monday night games. Monday night football. Here we go.
Well, he's brought to by our sponsors, the Monday night
Uh,
game.
yes, we can. We could do that now before the Monday night picks. Thanks, Bill. You're all right. I don't care what any of our sponsors say. So let's get their information, shall we? First, Vineland Realty Corporation. My pal Dennis Ingraldi in Vineland, New Jersey, runs the show down there. And Dennis has had some health challenges as well. His may have been more serious than mine. I don't know. But supposedly he's on the mend and back at it in the office. They're at 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Their phone number 8566909482. Any type of real estate or business need, you need some help. Dennis and the crew down there be more than glad to help you. They have resources, they have everything. Whether it's leasing, renting, buying, selling, you name it, they can help you out. That's Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue, Vineland, New Jersey, 856-690-9482. Let them know you heard about them from the cheap seats. We were yelling it down from way up in the cheap seats that you see back here. Hey, Vineland Realty. Actually, it'd be more like an echo. We're so high up. Vineland Realty, Realty, Realty. Um, so make sure you see Dennis and the crew and his girl Friday, who does a little bit of everything. Helen, tell Helen we said hello from the cheap seats here. And of course, our newest sponsor, Schatzi's Schnitzel House. Say that 5 times real fast. But great place there in Riley, Kansas. So yeah, we're spreading our sponsorship out, folks. 121 South Broadway in Riley, Kansas. Uh, it's a private German catering, and Chef Manfred LaGrange Ulrich is the bomb. I mean, great food, great atmosphere, and the chef will come out and check on you and make sure you're doing okay. And then he runs in the back and starts cooking himself. Great atmosphere, a lot of fun. It's the catering house. He opens once a month. Uh, so if you're in the area, let me know and we'll head over there. Or he caters a lot of private events. So if you're watching in the Kansas area and you want to have your event catered, look up Schatzi's Schnitzel House in Riley, Kansas. And you'll thank me later. And again, tell him you're from the Public John or from the cheap seats. Uh, we thank those folks, both Vineland Realty and Schatzi's, for their support, and we appreciate it. In the meantime, Bill, we can finish up with the Monday night games. Let me see. Here we go. Monday, the first game at 7 p.m., Tampa Bay and Houston. Houston's picked by 2.5. The over-under is 42.5. We both took Tampa Bay across the board to win, so that would be an upset pick as well. And we both took the over. I think injuries have hurt Houston already, especially at wide receiver and the O-line.
Yeah, and Joe Mixon, he's been on the IR also.
And Joe Mixon, right? He's on IR already, so he's out. Minimum, what, 4 weeks?
Yes.
So without their heavy running back and without their good receivers, CJ is going to be running around like crazy because their line's dinged up too. And Tampa Bay's got a good defense. And I like Baker, always have from his days in college. When he went to plant the flag, I thought that was the greatest thing ever. That's an attitude thing, and he's got that. I'll never forget watching, I think it was a Thursday night game. He was basically probably getting ready to deliver furniture or something. The Rams had a bunch of injuries, called him. 2 days later, he started for the Rams and led them to a win.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know the offense. He only had 2 days. But his whole attitude is, look, we could win this thing. And when the Rams players saw how much he was willing to do, I guess they stepped it up because he led them to a win. And if I'm not mistaken, it might have been his only game to ever play as a Ram. I mean, he stayed on the roster.
Yeah.
But everybody came back the next week because you have that mini bye after a Thursday. But you don't forget things like that. And he's gung ho. I think the worst mistake Cleveland may have made was cutting him loose.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. No, I think it's just as I always come back to it is the scheme, the offensive scheme, and I just don't know if Cleveland would have had that.
That's kind of a good point. But he kept them in games that they should have never been in. But you may be right. I mean, a couple of years later, they make the playoffs with Statue of Liberty Joe Flacco. But I can't pick on the guy because somehow he figured out a way to win.
Yeah.
And got Cleveland once he took over for injuries again. He took over and led them to the playoffs. Cleveland hadn't been in the playoffs in probably 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he got them there. He doesn't throw the ball away. So I think maybe you're right. Maybe that was the right move, but Cleveland needs to find their quarterback of the future. But we both took Tampa Bay across the board in the over there. It could be tough. Like we said, Houston's still the favorite. So we're both picking an upset there. But I think Tampa Bay, especially their defense, is going to be too much.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, the late Monday game, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So I'll be waking up to look at the highlights probably. Monday night I'll be awake because I'll be working.
I'll be in bed during this game.
Yeah, I'll have it on probably because I will be back at work. So I'll have it on a side computer or something. Chargers in Vegas. Chargers are picked by 3.5. The over-under is 46.5. Bill and I both took the Chargers across the board. The only difference, Bill took the over and I took the under. But that's basically it. We've had 4 or 5 differences, mostly on the over-under. We did have a couple differences in games, and we actually both picked 2 upsets in the same ones. So we're on the same page, pal, basically. But there are a couple differences. You could win and close the gap. Or if I'm lucky, the gap will get a little wider.
Place your bets.
It'll stay the same.
Place your bets while we're hot, folks.
That's it. While we're both steaming, baby, place your bets. Call your favorite online betting surface. In all honesty, we get which is, I always love that phrase, in all honesty. Like you're going to be half honest and admit it. In half honesty, because I don't feel like being completely truthful. Here's what happened. It's like when somebody says, with all due respect, you automatically know there's no respect coming. The
Yeah.
next line is going to be, well, with all due respect, I think you're getting your ass kicked. I mean, you just know there's no respect coming. Yeah, what
Look,
I'm saying, it's bullshit. So I think I'd already
it's
screwed it
almost like
up,
a but, but.
but yeah, with all due respect, I see your point. But
But.
or however, you're stupid. It's just you're a friggin' idiot. I already blew the kid thing about 20 minutes ago when I accidentally dropped the F word. So much for the kids being able to watch this fucking show.
Wah.
Wah, wah, wah. So we need one of them 7-second delay buttons for me only. You're actually pretty good,
I'm
but me,
pretty chill right now. Wait till the season gets started here.
yeah, yeah, it's true. So. All right, so there you have it, folks. There's our picks for this week, and once again, for thanks to Bill for reminding me because I forget these little notes, and Ethel left the room. I guess she took it for granted I'd have this. Wrong. Um, where's Gizmo when I needed him? Because Gizmo would sit over in a corner and just stare at me the whole time while I'm doing this. Ethel, like, nah, I don't want to hear this fat bastard's voice, and leaves the room. So, uh, so we've got all our picks in. We gave you our results from last week. So, Billy, unless you have something else to add, I'm looking at baseball as well. Remember, we're supposed to cover all sports, but we basically focus on the NFL. But I will tell you, there are some wild card races heating up in Major League Baseball. Uh, the Philadelphia Phillies are, I think, have just won 6 in a row, might be 7 now after last night. Um, and they're playing pretty good teams. They avenged the sweep in New York by sweeping the Mets in Philly. Uh, if you take a look at the wild card races, Bill, you'll see that they're getting pretty close. And the Dodgers and Padres are neck and neck in the National League West. Seattle's making ground up in the American League West, and they're only a couple games out now. Um, the Blue Jays have faltered a little bit, so now the Yankees are catching them, are close to it. Even
Yeah.
the Yankees, when you watch them defensively, are a literal shit show. I mean, they've got so many defensive problems, but you know, pitching over and hitting can sometimes eradicate those things. So, and that's how they've gotten to where they are. But I
Yeah.
don't see them going far, even if they win the division. But they should make the playoffs.
It looks like it's going to be come down to last week because you got the Giants a half
Yep.
game out of the wild card, the
Yeah,
Reds 1.5, and the Diamondbacks too.
the Diamondbacks are still in it. The
Yeah.
Cubs.
So uh,
Uh,
in the American League, you still have the Rangers are 2 out, and the Guardians are 3.5 out. So
yeah,
they're all close.
they're all getting close. And I heard something. Oh, well, I know the Tigers have just run away with their division. The
Yeah.
Phillies are running away with their division. Uh, so it's basically and the Brewers are running away with their division.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Phillies are within 2 games of the best record in baseball. If they catch Milwaukee, they could have
Yeah, 2 games. Yep.
a top bye in the division because they're just on a tear right now. Luzardo the other day gave up 4 in the first and then retired the next 22 straight batters and pitched through 8. And it's like, when the Phillies came from behind away, he kept them in that spot. Nobody could get on base for the Mets. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like the Mets. Never have. I did root for him in '69, way back when you were probably.
I remember them days. Well, I was only like 5,
I
but
was just going to say you weren't very old, you prick. Uh, but I did root for him once they got to the World Series. I I rooted against them in the National League Championship Series against the Cubs. I was hoping the Cubs would do it, only because Ernie Banks was still there, and I wanted to see Ernie Banks at least get to a World Series, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. Uh, but the Mets. I just don't like the Mets. The Mets are kind of like the Yankees now. They have the billionaire owner who's ready to just throw money around, and you got Lindor and you got Cruz, not Cruz. Oh, what's his name? Ruiz. Who's in right field for the Mets? The big hitter.
No, not Soto.
Soto. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Soto, isn't it?
yeah, Soto.
Yeah. And I just he's on the same page, not quite as bad, but to me, he's on the same page as Machado. I don't like seeing Machado either. He's just a cocky. I can't see him being a team guy. Maybe he is, but he's just rubs me the wrong way. And so
I didn't really care for him with Baltimore either. I don't know. Some
yeah,
players you
you're a
just don't.
Baltimore fan,
Yeah.
so that'll tell you something too. Yeah, I'm not enamored with either one of those two guys. So to see Soto had a couple hits, but nothing game changing was fine with me. I was like, sit down. Grab some pine, baby. Have a seat. Thanks for stopping by. So, um, but baseball looks kind of interesting. I mean, Phillies are doing this without their best pitcher, Zach Wheeler,
Mhm.
but their starters are hanging in there. And if Aaron Nola's performance from the other night is any indication where he's at, there could be problems for other teams because they need a right hand starter in there. Everybody else is left handed now without Wheeler.
Mhm.
So, postseason, if you can throw lefty, righty, lefty, that could be pretty big. But we'll see what happens. But Major League Baseball is about to get interesting. Like you said, Bill, the next week, I think will tell us the haves and the have-nots.
Yes.
A couple teams have come from nowhere. Like you said, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, they're in it. Boston's still hanging in there in the American League, but they've dwindled a little bit last week or so. But you got a couple teams hanging on there, and a couple teams that weren't in the running that suddenly are. Kansas City was in the running. I think this weekend's already hurt them because Philadelphia's beaten them twice, and they play again today, but they've already lost the series. Um, so it's starting to get interesting now. The marathon is coming up on that last mile, Bill.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
it would be something if the Mets don't make because they lost eight in a row.
oh yeah, they lost six in a row.
Eight
Four
in a
to
row.
Philly, and then two more.
Yeah, eight in a row. Yeah.
Oh, was it eight in a row?
Eight
Yeah.
in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dying fast. Can't wait to see who Steve Cohen spends money on next year and it doesn't work. That'll be fun. So, uh, I don't know of anything else, Bill, unless you do. Saw the U.S. Open, Sabalenka won, and Alcaraz won. I don't think that's a surprise, either one winning. Joker went out in the semis. I think his days are close to done, because of age and getting beat up. It looks like, I think it'll be Sinner and Alcaraz the next few years. Uh, Sabalenka looks pretty good. Uh, Osaka, just when you think she's turning a corner, she'll lose a game or a match like that. And it's like, oh, what's going on here?
And
Uh,
this is all you, my friend. I have no clue.
well, it's like when you talk about American football, soccer, I'm out. I was like, it's all you, Bill. So, uh, I don't even know. Like last night, I used to follow boxing, but last night I don't know who
That
won.
was good. That was a good fight. I just stayed up
Was
till
it? Was it a good fight?
two in the morning, and
Woo.
the new champ, yeah, Canelo lost to
Canelo lost?
Crawford. Beat him, yeah.
Wow. And hadn't Canelo beaten Crawford before?
No, Crawford's still undefeated.
Oh, Crawford's still undefeated. Okay.
Yeah,
I
actually,
know they were picking Canelo.
Yeah, well, yeah, Canelo was the favorite, and Crawford actually fought up two weight classes. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That does make it interesting. Actually, I have my boxing outfit on, if you think about it. The guy from Ring Magazine, this is the type of hat he'd always wear was a fedora, a big old stogie in his
Yeah,
mouth.
with the stogie.
Yeah, but I don't smoke inside. If we were out on the deck, I'd have one lit up too. So, and I'll probably light one up today because I'm thinking about it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the sports news for right now, unless you have something, Bill.
No, I think we covered everything.
Okay. Well, for everybody at Schatzi's and at Vineland Realty, my pal Billy Smith, and the rest of our crack staff, which is our staff on crack, uh, we'll say goodbye from now. We're in the cheap seats. Bill's seats are so cheap, they're not even in color. But don't get me wrong, mine are just Rust-Oleum spray painted. So Bill's are probably better than mine. But thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you next week. Uh, Enjoy the games, and anything else comes up, we'll let you know. We will probably try and do a blitz before Thursday's game. But thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the games.